the focus into it too. You be like, boom.
I gotta watch myself now. Boom. Me. Num Yeringe kill.
I don't know what you just said.
That's what Angela Bassett said when she played Tina Turner. When she was like,
Oh, wait. Boom. What now? What?
there it is. That's it. She said boom.
Did she?
No.
Oh. Yo, what's up? I am Omega, and this is Diverse Clarity. This is where we have those thought-provoking conversations about things that matter and some that don't. And of course, as always, I'm here with my man, my co-host, Mr. John D. What's good?
What up, though, man? Just, just reflecting on the amount of growth you can have just in a conversation.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Without
saying?
a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Have you had a conversation recently where there has been some reflection and growth?
Yeah. Well, every conversation I get that I have with somebody, I try to take something. But just earlier today, my wife and I was having a conversation about an event that occurred. And she was telling me how she looked at it then and how she looks at it now. And I was telling her how I looked at it then and how I look at it now.
Right.
And we still don't look at the same event the same way. It's like even through the conversation. And what's crazy is that, our relationship was built completely different. We just thought we had the same things to come together to form Voltron. Then you realize that some of them were Transformers and GoBots. It's like, no, they don't go together. They look like it's supposed to go together, but it didn't, and right. The way that she cared about me then, she reminded me, she said, you used to tell me I was crazy for talking like that. I thought she was crazy.
What'd she say? Can we hear? Something she said?
She just, she just made me feel like, I was really special. Okay. Like when I say really special, I'm not talking about like you're doing good in life. Like she made me feel like I was the existence. Like the words she used to write in letters made me feel like I didn't understand how she could to put words together to describe how she felt about me, and I didn't even understand it then. Yeah, so like looking at it now, it's like I was deficient in areas that she didn't know, and she automatically thought that I had a skill set that would be able to decipher what she said to me.
So with your new understanding or your current understanding of what that was then, how you see it now, is this something where this brings you closer together?
Well, for me,
how does that, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does that translate into 2021 now that you have that clarity on?
Well, I feel like I told you earlier, I'm catching up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I have all of these ideas that I know I can have now, and it's okay.
Yeah.
No, but it's a little bit of everything. Okay. It's like, because I thought that I was doing better than I was supposed to already. So I didn't have to go harder. But looking back, what I was going hard on, she didn't care. I thought I was supposed to be doing that because I'm the man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you this. So I told her my goal when I first got married, my goal was to eventually make enough money where my kids could go to private school, we could travel the world, and my wife doesn't have to work. And we did that. And I was like, you mean I spent most of my time in my life to get to that point? And I was like, this has got to be more to this.
Well, let's talk about that then. Let's switch gears. Let's go into that as far as like understanding and whatnot, because it's funny because both of us, we were talking earlier, and I was saying the same thing about myself, where not necessarily the same thing, but like where I have like this, I'm starting to realize that the way that I think about things and the way that I understand things and the way that translates out to other people when I communicate my thoughts and my feelings, right? I'm growing, because previously, still currently, but not as much, but previously, there would be something that would come up and it'd be like, yo, why don't you think about this? Why don't you try this? Why don't you go here? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Y'all want some drink? You know what I'm saying? Like, just complete dismiss. But like lately, not that I'm there 100%, but what I've learned is like when a conversation like that is had, I tend to like go back and reflect, and I have a different understanding of how I responded, how that can look to the person that I was talking to, and how I could have approached that or attacked that if there was the need for that, or responded to it simply, you know what I mean, in a better way to where they can understand me better where I'm coming from. Just because I have a strong feeling, or maybe some may look at it like a harsh feeling towards something or towards someone, my response, because I'm a very direct person. We know this, right? But just because my directness, just because I have a direct feeling about it, whether good, bad, yes, no, hot, cold, I don't actually have to say that. Instead of saying, nah, I could be like, well, not really, because, you know what I mean? And maybe a little softer explanation, or just a complete, you know what? I'm going to disregard how I normally would respond to that, and I'm going to come at it from another way. I am going to trust what you're saying just for the point of, I'm going to give this a try. That's been my growth, not just this week, but I've realized it this week. And we were talking about this earlier. Like, I've realized it this week. And I do owe somebody a special thank you, because they've helped to bring this out of me. So I don't know. So when it comes to this, right, like how much better does it feel for you when it comes to understanding the person that you're with? Or how much better is it for you when you feel like they understand you better?
Like now?
Right.
Oh, well, before I realized that we didn't know what each other was talking about.
Right.
Looking at her now to know where she was then, like,
uh-oh.
Now, look, if I wasn't the person who I was, she would have wasted a lot of her time.
Right.
Like, because I continue to want to elevate. I've always wanted to be like that, right?
Right.
But the person that she thought she was getting, she just thought you just open this box up and you'll get all of these things to love this person, right?
Right.
And because I always thought, I was like, man, this is easy. Like what?
Which part is easy? What part
this marriage.
easy?
Marriage life was easy because my wife loved me, and I was like, wow, I'm going over and beyond. But I knew I could have done more. But in my eyes, I was doing more than her father did, more than my father did.
Right.
So I didn't know that I wanted to go further. And when I say wanted to go further, was to
exceed expectations, even in your own mind.
No, I was already exceeding my own expectations, but I didn't know that I could do an even better job. Like, because my standard was so low. So it's easy to exceed those expectations.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Your standard was low, but your standard being low, you felt that was more than enough.
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm saying is...
But I didn't know it was low then.
Right. But what I'm saying is exceeding expectation that you had set.
Correct.
Which was a lower standard.
Without a doubt.
In your mind. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So looking at her, and it's like, I could have done this better. You know, I could have done that better. But I look at myself, though, like I've always tried to get better.
Right.
But the way that she needed me to protect her in ways that I didn't understand how you protect a woman. Right. I just wasn't mentally there.
But how do you get better then? How do you open yourself up to get better? And we're talking about an intimate relationship, right? Not just friendship. So, because there's different ways that we attack this, right? But like, how do you open yourself up to become better? It's one thing to recognize it, but to put action behind it.
So it's a lot of ego and pride you got to remove, because I believe that we have ego and pride for the wrong things. And the things we think we have it for, we don't understand why we should have it for it. Like, like the other day when we had the conversation about, you know, if somebody's talking crazy to your lady, you know what I'm saying? Like it takes a really disciplined soul to make the right decision where everybody was like, that was the right one. But if if you would have punched somebody, like people would have understood, but you would have reflected and like, I could have handled that totally different. It creates so many other scenarios when you react out of emotion.
Say what you said again about ego.
Ego and pride.
No, but what was it? You said it's too much.
Oh, we have ego and pride for the wrong things.
I agree, but I also disagree.
I mean,
I think we have ego and pride. We like, because when you say we have it for the wrong things, I don't think it's necessarily for the wrong things. I think we might have an elevated level that's not necessary. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to have great pride and great ego when it comes to defending the people that you love and care about. The level that you'll go to, you know what I'm saying? Like you say about punching somebody in the face. Hey, you can have that pride, protection, that ego when it comes. You're not going to come and just talk to my family this way. You're not going to come and talk to my wife this way, right? Punching the person is a higher level than we probably need. But having that is still healthy at a certain level where you're not going to have people looking at you crazy when the act is done. You get what I'm saying? I don't think you get what I mean, all right? So this is why I agree with you, but because we need that. We need a little bit of.
I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying, like, in order to protect a woman, a man needs to know his value.
Right.
And I said this recently, like, the reason why a man can't appreciate a woman is because he doesn't really know. He think he knows his value, but once you find a woman that you're interested in, she would do anything for you.
Facts.
And the problem is that as I've grown, I really thought that I was the best thing out here in these streets, because I told my wife, I was like, I do all of these things because I want to do them for you. And not only that, I ask you, what can I do to be better? So in my head, I'm like, how can you leave a man that does these things and at the same time says, how can he be better so he can make you happy? And it's like, if that's the case, I'm trying to figure out why did I have so many ups and downs? Because it all came back to me thinking that I knew what I was doing. So in this marriage, when I say I know what I'm doing, I feel like things were supposed to be done a certain way. It couldn't have been done like how my father did it. This is how it's supposed to go, because if we do it that way, it could look like that. You know what I'm saying? And me not being an effective communicator caused her to just kind of like, you know, he's the man, let's let him lead. And I didn't have as many consequences as you would have from making mistakes, but it was enough for me to review and be like, I just didn't know any better. And then, like, telling my wife that, you know, we just had this conversation today about how I didn't understand those words then. And she says, you know, I often think you always say, you know, did you steal this out of Hallmark, or this should be in a book? And like, you just didn't understand. She was like, you know, I feel like, you know, I wasted all my energy. She's like, not into you, but just trying, because I really tried to do the words right. She would change the sentences, take out words. She was trying to make it perfect, and I wasn't even ready to receive the message.
Do you think, okay, me personally, right? I don't think that's anything that's lost, because if the two of you are communicating about this now, right? And you're able to say, yo, I didn't understand this then. You know I love you. I didn't understand this then. And then she's saying, well, this is what I meant by that. I didn't realize you didn't understand it. This is a new ground. This is a new plateau that doesn't have to stay as a plateau. For sure. Right? So it's a new ground for you. So I think that there's beauty in that. Why? Because I think now you're able to look at it and, hell, maybe it's a session together. No, this is what I meant by this. And this is why I feel this way. This is why I felt that way. This is why I feel this way now. And then you take a new appreciation for this. And this is an exercise I think for the two of you.
Oh yeah,
Where
definitely.
it comes to the growth and going to the next level. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Well, the bad thing is not knowing how to protect her through those years of trying to get to this point. Like,
yeah, but that is past.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm saying, but
is,
her emotions are still in a way where I'm responsible for that. Regardless of how ignorant I was responsible for that.
Okay, think about it like this: if you and I are in the car, okay, knock on wood. If you and I are in the car and there's a car accident, right, and then they pull me out, but you can't walk, right? They put you on the stretcher. They throw you in the ambulance. They take you to the hospital, and the doctor looks at you and you screaming, right? This is your wife screaming, right? You screaming. The doctor doesn't know what's wrong with you, technically. What's the first thing they do? Get him the X-ray, right? Because you got to look inside and see. Y'all have now had an opportunity to X-ray and see what the problem was. So to dwell on,
oh no,
but you know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
look, check this out. You're talking from my perspective though. Like that's how I want it to be. Like I get that.
Right.
But as she reviews our marriage, like her feelings are still hurt. You know, just because she says,
"Oh no,
she understands."
I was coming to that. But the part I was gonna say is, now that you've taken X-rays and you understand that the person has a broken leg, now you know what to do to mend it.
Yeah.
Now you know what to do to fix it. And so what I was getting at was, now I understand that her feelings are hurt, and I understand that you did some things that might have caused that. But at least now both of y'all know why that happened or what it is that happened.
Yeah, well,
now you both know it's a broken leg.
It was ultimately just communication. Just
But no, when I'm talking about mending the feelings.
Oh yeah.
The communication, of course, because that's how you got to this point, right? Of the understanding. But I mean about the mending, because you said her feelings are still hurt because it's this.
So when I say that, I'm saying like I know that her feelings are, because she doesn't realize that she dealt with an illiterate, emotional man.
Emotional illiteracy.
For sure.
Damn.
Like I was telling her, the person that I disliked the most in my life was my father, and he showed me how to love. And that's who I loved the most until my wife. But what examples did I have of what love looked like?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, she has this idea because my father raised me that I have these characteristics that you would want a man to teach a son. But my father didn't have those characteristics to do it. So he did the best he could. But through the process, I was able to disguise myself and trick her into believing that I was prepared for what she wanted.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I got a job. I go to work. I got my own crib. I love my family. Well, I care about my family. I visit. She sees the friends that I have. She knows that I want to move up. But what the problem was, those distracted her from the things that would ultimately cause pain. And that was like lack of communication.
But those are things that we supposed to do.
What do you mean?
I have a job, have a crib.
I know, but I'm saying, but you don't remember at one point. Well, see, you left as a young man. Yeah. So there was a time where if you didn't have any kids, you had a job, you had your own place, like you were like sirloin steak to women, because it was like, he's young enough to not be married. And I'm serious. Like, just think about it.
I just thought you would have said tenderloin, but okay.
You so stupid.
Go ahead.
So it was like, in my head, I'm like, I got the pick of the litter. Like, I can do what I want because I know what I want in my life. And I'm like, any woman would want this. Right. But the problem was, when women have the same things distracting them that the man feels like he's good at, you're not seeing the things that he's not good at. And what's so crazy is, through this process, the way that I talked to her or anybody, it was in a way where, like, only people that knew me could take. But if I talked to somebody new and I talked to them the same way, they would snap, because it's like, who are you talking to like that? They don't realize, but nobody really kind of explained how I was talking to people. Like, if I'm talking to you and me and you just met, I'm like, and I'll say like, I'll give you an example. When in Atlanta, when I had a cigar lounge. There was this guy there, very good friend. And I used to say, man, you weak as hell.
Because you couldn't smoke or something?
No, because of whatever. But weak as hell could be in anything.
Yeah.
You know, and he said, hey, I know you don't mean anything by it, but I ain't weak as hell, so don't say that anymore. I was like, what? Who are you talking to? In my head, like, he's an older man. He still look like he can hold his own, but I'm looking at him like he crazy. Like, man, you know that it don't mean nothing. He was like, yeah, I know, but I'm not weak as hell, so I prefer you. And I was like, and after that conversation, I realized that before that conversation, if anybody would said to me, man, you weak as hell. You know, ain't nobody serious. And I had to like reevaluate how I dismiss people's requests.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So I've dismissed my wife's request all these years and didn't know I was doing it because of pride and ego, because I'm like, the way I'm doing it is right. You'll be all right. Yeah.
Dang. Wow.
Yeah, you weak as hell.
Wow.
I was real weak, man. I was like, dang.
That's okay.
If
I get. Go ahead.
Now, if a man can come up and tell you what he don't like,
yeah,
and you respect him, you can't do nothing but respect what he said.
Yeah. Now I've been that person before to say I don't like that. That's not gonna happen and whatever. But I'm that guy. I'm that direct person. But I try, like, over the years I've tried to become better and like deliver it, you know, a little bit better and whatnot. But I've been that guy that was in the lounge before many times, specifically with the N-word, people, you know, whatever. And they don't mean anything by it, same way. Yeah. But it's that. So I definitely understand that from the other side, as well. But like, so when we're going through such things though, right? So how does it look when it comes to the forgiveness side, right? Like, if the roles were reversed, what would it look like for you to forgive your wife? Roles reversed. You're in her position. So what does forgiveness look like?
All right. So it's crazy because the way that I look at it, I'm looking at like, you mad at a person that don't exist anymore. You're mad at a person, the shell of a person.
No, wait.
No, I'm about to. Okay. So if I was on the other side, I need her to make me understand. And that's what I'm saying. If my communication's bad, she can't understand. So I'm like, if I'm on the other side, I need you to do your best to make me understand because this hurts. And to me, she has the communication skills already. But me, I don't have it. So I'm trying to figure out what I could do. So I need her to make me understand why I shouldn't hurt anymore.
I have 4 words for you.
What's that?
Kanye West, Joe Rogan.
Well, you know what she said to me?
But you get what I'm saying?
She said that. Right? She said, John, you can say anything to me. Just right. If you feel like you're attacking, just say, hey, I'm just going to shoot some stuff out there and I want you to filter it out and tell me what you think.
Well, okay. But what I'm referring to is like when it comes to helping to understand, right? And if you say that you're a bad communicator, if you're talking to the person that's your partner, right? Because I've been in this position, right? And if you're talking to the person that's your partner, being able to communicate and say, I'm a bad communicator, that is communication. Because if this person loves you, cares about you, wants to work and grow, continue to grow with you, they're going to recognize that you're a bad communicator and they're going to Joe Rogan your Kanye West. This is what you want. This is what you...
Oh, no. I agree. I get that. But if Joe Rogan is mad at Kanye West, he's not going to really...
Okay, I'm not talking about them being mad. I'm just talking about the process that...
Oh, I know. So
should happen, right?
So that's what she wants.
Right.
I get it, but see, it's at the same time, like, she knows I'm not the best communicator. Right. But me, my self-esteem and confidence in... I have to really watch what I say because remember the power of words. If I use a word that she has more weight for it than I do, she's going to take it in the wrong way. And I don't know what those words are. So it's like I have to figure out words that are along her scale because when I use words, she has scales for them. So if I use the word love,
like versus love, or
right. It's like, but it ain't really like that up here. You saying it because that's her view, that's her interpretation of what the word love is.
But that's a part of the communication and the understanding. So there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance of tools that are being used. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if we're gonna play soccer together, I can't show up with a football and you got a soccer ball. You're going to win. I don't have the proper, you get what I'm saying? I don't have the proper tools, so we can't measure like that. So if that is going to stay on such a high scale, such a high level, where it's like, well, look, my word choice is up here, and my meanings for these words are up here, and you using stuff that's, I haven't used this in forever, and this is how you're trying to talk to me. You get what I'm saying? It's like an elementary kid school trying to go to a university.
That's what I told her. That's what I am. I'm a child.
I'm not saying that you're.
I'm a child.
But you get what I'm saying, though, right?
Yes.
So so the person that is above in this regard needs to be able to say, you know what? Because I'm here, I know everything that's here because I already studied all of this, and I understand that I need to bring you up to this level. So it's long distance relationship. But I live in New York. You live in California. Let's meet in the middle.
Yeah. So
you get what I'm saying?
No. You're absolutely. I don't want you to think that's not what's going on. I'm just saying it's still a process going through. Like we're still like I trust the process.
No, we just talking about.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
but I'm saying as far as me becoming a better communicator, like it's hard to tell a person that already knows you're a bad communicator. That, you're trying to make things better, but your words sound like you ain't trying that hard.
Say help.
Oh.
Say help. Say help a lot. Say help. And instead, how about this? Instead of trying to explain something, right? Like I don't want to put words in either one of y'all's mouth because this is your real life relationship, right? But if she says, let me phrase this. Yeah, if you say something, right, as a response to a question that she has asked, and that don't make sense to her, and you're not even sure about what you're saying because you're worried about, well, I don't know if this is going to be, respond with, help me try to explain this to you. You get what I'm saying?
She said that to me before.
Did she?
Yeah,
man, high five back to the stage. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? But help me try to explain this to you. I'm feeling like this, and I'm feeling like this, but I'm not really sure how to put it to words. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and in this case, it's really hard for the person that loves you to continue to be mad when you're trying to communicate within a flaw, get help, and you putting it in that person's hands. You get what?
So I want you to that's excellent because like there was something that happened recently, and she was like, John, you don't always have to, it doesn't have to be like that. Like you have options. And then she gave me a list of options and I was like, oh. So just like when you said that, it's like, I only know what I know. So if I haven't heard it before or like I haven't thought it out, like my communication when it comes to relationships is so limited that I don't know how and what to say until I hear it and I'm like, oh, that sounds simple, but I don't
help.
Yeah.
We all know help. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to make it less than what it is, or I'm not even trying to make it.
But that's what she said though. That's why I thought you said the Joe Rogan, Kanye West thing.
Yeah.
She was like, we know that you need some,
just say help.
Yeah.
I find it extremely difficult to be upset with anyone that is trying to make things better, trying to communicate, and they have that level of pride that has been knocked down where they can say, help.
Yeah.
Help me explain this to you. What do you need help with? Like, I don't know. What are you trying to say? That's probably what's going to be. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say to me? Well, I just want you to know that this hurts. Or I just want you to know that this feels good. But I'm not really sure how to put it to words. Oh, well, you get what I'm saying?
I do.
And this is the way that I don't know. I'm just a guy that likes a girl and tries really hard. That's it.
But everybody's trying hard is different.
Help.
I know. I like that.
Nobody is above help. Nobody. To ask it, to give it, to recognize it. Nobody's above help. And you can't go wrong when you ask for help. Now, if somebody just wants to disregard you because you, and I'm not saying that your wife is going to do, but if somebody wants to disregard you because you said help, what are you to do? I mean, I doubt that person is going to be there for you anyway. You know what I'm saying? You're in quicksand and they walk away. You going to go try to find that person later when somebody does pull you out? Come on.
Yeah.
You can't turn your back on help when you love and care about somebody. And you can't go wrong with help because that is going to help to bring you to that level, right? If they are up there, if they are, and you're somewhere, wherever below that, that help is going to pull you there.
Yeah.
And then when they can grab you, then they pull you up to where they were before. And that path is going to be easier because then it goes to other things that you and I have talked about. Like, well, cause you already do this. Yo, give me the pointers, bro. Tell me what you do when it comes to this. Tell me how you do this. Because if you already made the mistake, I don't want to make the mistake. This is you. You already do this.
Yeah.
Help. But it just looks a little bit different when it's your significant other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I just want to use that with anybody. Like, if I feel like things are getting out of hand and there's one somewhere I just like, help. Look, it's not supposed to be going this way.
Off screen, you've said this. You've looked at me and said, Joe Rogan, Kanye West.
Yeah.
That's translation help.
Yeah.
You right?
Yeah, you're right.
You already do it. You already know the answer.
Well, I'm trying.
And
I'm trying to get better.
And even if you didn't, you know what I'm saying? That's probably some of the first words that we learned.
For sure.
You know? It can't be bad.
And that's why I said we got pride and ego for the wrong things.
Right.
So if I didn't have pride and ego, help would be easier for me to say.
We got the wrong levels of pride and ego.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah,
but
for sure.
We want to be. We got the wrong levels of pride and ego for certain things.
Definitely.
Right. So, and we need to balance that scale out. But I recognize the same thing, man. Like like you said before, like I'm the person that if there's something that I don't want to do or I'm not comfortable with or I don't like it or whatever, I'm like, nah, I'm good. No, that's not gonna happen. Not over here. That's not gonna happen. No, I'm not trying to do it.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I know. You like this? Are we still talking about this?
Like, yo, I'm just saying.
Oh, you thought it was a game? No.
Sometimes I have good reasons. Actually, there was something that I wanted to tell the both of y'all about, but I wanted y'all to be together when I tell you. No, I even had it in my notes, or whatever. But sometimes I have really, really, really good reasons, and even the good reason, I just don't want to talk about at that moment. Remind me, because next time we all together, I'm gonna let you know. But it's this way. But what I've recognized and what I was saying earlier is, I owe my girl a huge thank you because, I mean, I guess I'm saying it on air, you know, but I want to tell her face to face. But it's different things where there's been communication, and I know the old me, the stubborn me, the me that's stuck in his ways about certain things, and it's nothing heavy, you know what I mean? But it's like, I know how it is, and I know how my response is or my idea is related to these things, and that's usually the kind of response I give. No, I'm good. You don't want to eat this? Nope. You don't want to go skydiving? Do I look like I want to go skydiving? You know what I'm saying?
I just want y'all to know these responses are the same pitch, demeanor, same behavior patterns that make you look like, did he say it like, yes, he did. He sounds just like, look, he is so dismissive with anything that you say that he is against. Hey, man, it's warm outside. No, it's not.
What? What? What did I say?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's the way you respond. Like, when it don't matter how far-fetched or how simple it may be, if you are against it, there's really no room for discussion because you already gave us the answer the first time.
Yes. And I remember when she asked, she was like, so probably like we'll when it cools down, we'll go skydiving. No, we won't. I mean, you can go. I'll hold your purse. I'm not going.
Roller coasters.
Nah.
What else? The beach.
Bungee jumping.
Everything. Anything you don't want to do.
Yeah.
It was like, you don't even say this. Like, not at this time in my life. Maybe later.
No, it's too much talking. Like, I don't get my point across.
But see, to me, it allows you to change your mind later if it does. Without you feel like, so that's what I say.
But here's the deal though. I can be as affirmative as I want in any response. And I still can change my mind later.
I know, but when I hear you, it sounds like the old me as far as if I said I wasn't going to do something and you guys are waiting for me to do it, I'm just going to do it even longer just because. Like, I won't say, I guess you guys were right. Like, I changed my mind.
Oh, and here's the thing. My communication, I say these things. Like, I've said, listen, I know I said no before, but if you keep asking me, it's a sign. Look, if you keep, you stupid. If you keep asking me, I'm just gonna hold out just because you keep asking me. But the thing is, see, I say that. You don't say that. I don't think you say that. You just do it. I at least say, look, I already said no. If you keep asking me, it's just going to prolong it. You know what I'm saying? If there was a possible yes, that's not, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's new you. I don't remember.
No, I do ask.
Okay.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I do. You might not have heard that because usually it's like a topic, because that's what it is. It's usually like a topic and then it's asked. And then it's dismissed
immediately.
And then it's done.
Yeah.
But then like later it's like, are you really not gonna look? I already told you no. If you keep on, it's just gonna make it work. Like I'm just not gonna. But that's not even the point because it's not about that, and I don't want to glorify that. What I'm saying is there is growth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I don't know, you said you've noticed some things, and it's like for me, it takes time. And the most important thing is me recognizing my personality type. I have to come to that conclusion myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I have to be, and it's okay. I think knowing your weakness is a strength. Knowing your weakness is a strength. And that is a weakness of mine, which I believe makes me stronger because I can recognize and say, you know what? I may respond to that because I have no problem giving an immediate answer because that's how I feel, or that's how I think. But then later, in retrospect, right, I'm reflecting on the day, and I'm like, man, I could have said that differently. Or I could have left the door open to say, not right now, not this weekend, not between 2020 and 2025. You know what I'm saying? I could have whatever. I could have said something.
You're right though.
You know, but
it doesn't have to seem permanent.
Right. And so for that, and that's why I say I owe my woman a thank you because I feel like there are quite a few things where I want to go back and be like, you know what? Let me change this. No, it's not the skydiving one. So whatever. But there are a few things where I want to go back and I want to be like, because here's the killer. She's amazing. Here's the killer. It's things where even though I've said, no, I don't want to do that, or no, I'm not interested in that, or that's not how I do things. I don't want to, that's not me. I'm not whatever. Her response, okay. I get it. I respect it. Where you coming from? I understand. You know, it's never, I mean, there might have been some, oh, come on, you've witnessed, like, oh, come on, let's do it. Like, and both of y'all, matter of fact, that's why you nodded. Both of y'all. So, but it's a growth thing. And so, and this is what I was talking about when I say that pride and ego. It's okay to have it, but it's got to be certain levels based on whatever you're dealing with. Yeah. And that pride and ego is like the stock market. It's going to fluctuate, and it should fluctuate because every situation is not the same. Yeah. You know what I mean? But within that, that's where I see my growth. So I don't know, man. So being that you get to see the growth, right? As far as the forgiveness aspect that you were speaking on, right?
How do you do you allow your past mistakes to haunt you? When I say haunt you, I'm talking about, there are things that you've changed your mind that you said you wouldn't do that nobody knows.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yes.
So is it easier for you to forgive yourself, to say, okay, I could have handled that differently, or I could have, like how we said, the way we respond can change everything.
Is it easier to forgive myself?
Because I'm pretty sure, like, being the direct person you are, some of your responses, I'm sure, have hurt people's feelings in the past. So I'm sure that wasn't your intentions. It was just something that you were adamantly against. You weren't going to do.
I mean, I just like to answer stuff directly.
I know, I get it, but I'm saying, like,
beating around the bush.
So now where you are, do you feel like those were just mistakes? It doesn't matter to you anymore? Like, oh, well.
I mean, I'm not losing sleep at night.
Yeah, I know.
But I do feel, what was the first part of the question? Is it easier?
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is yes. Because it's something, because I feel like there's growth for me. Because if I've responded, if I've reacted, if I've whatever in a direct way that made somebody feel some kind of way, but then on my own, in my own reflection, I'm like, man, maybe I could have, whatever. And then I rectify that, or I change that, or I speak to the person and say, hey, remember when my bad, this and this, whatever. So how about this? I feel better. It is easier when I fix it myself because of the growth element that's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for that, yeah, I definitely feel that it's easier. I think that pride and or ego can get in the way if it's the other person that highlights that for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
before you figure it out, somebody throwing it in your face.
Exactly. So if you're the one to fix it, yes, it's easy because you've done all the work. You made the statement, you performed the act, and then later you was like, ooh, I need to change that. Let me change my ways. And I fixed my ways. And then you've witnessed yourself change over time. And you're like, I got this. Yes, it's easy to forgive yourself. But if somebody comes to you and they say, hey, that was really, don't say I'm what do you say? I'm weak.
Weak as hell.
Don't say I'm weak as hell. Because, and then then it might be a little harder for you to swallow. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody could have come to you and been like, he has like a condition. He can't lift a 30-pound dumbbell. And you would have been like, what? You know what I'm saying? And then you would have been like, and that's a friend of yours. And they're like, yo, I'm just letting you know, like he might kind of take offense to that. And you're like, oh. And then you fix it yourself and you never ever say that he weak as hell again. Yeah. And he never ever had to say something to you. You feel good about it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because you're like this. But the fact that somebody comes to you and says something, it's kind of like,
I did feel that way though. I was like when he approached me.
Really?
Because to me, weak as hell just sound like something funny to say. And
because of where we from.
Yeah.
We say that when I was a kid.
And
you weak as hell, man.
Yeah, like and to be corrected like that, it was just like like in my head, it's like everybody's watching me. Like, what you gonna do now?
Ooh.
Promise. And like it was a learning experience that was weird because it's you ever heard like I don't want to say I'm like these people or not, but when people say when like people don't talk to me like that, like I look at this person differently because he talked with firmness and stern, you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't let me just run over it. Like, and it wasn't necessarily intended for that, but even though I told him that it was nothing, it wasn't good enough for him. And as a man, I had to respect that or we had to fight.
I'll tell you something, and I don't want to give times because I don't want to like, because this person probably, I know they watch the show. I know they watch it, but them watching, they'll know what I'm talking about and they'll appreciate this. But I don't know if I told you about this, where I worked with somebody before and they thought that I was racist towards their race based on direction that I had given them at work. Did I tell you about this?
No.
So I'm not even going to give what, but this person, they said, they pulled me to the side one day and, we have a great relationship, right? But he pulled me to the side one day and he said, listen, I just wanted to tell you that when you first came to be, my manager, I thought that you were racist against, my kind, right? I'm like, what? Like, I was hurt because I was like, it's no way, right? Like, but it's humbling, right? And he says, I thought you was racist against my kind. I'm like, what do you mean? And now I'm in listen mode because I'm like, what's the one thing that I don't like?
Want to be misunderstood.
Don't want to be misunderstood. And I was like, whoa. And I said, come sit down with me. He sat and he says, yeah. He says, when we first met, and you were brought in, and I remember the first project that you gave me, and you were telling me, okay, do this and then do this, and then I went and I did it, but I did it wrong and I made like a lot of mistakes, and you were like, nope, this is not good. You can't do it like this. You got to do this, and you're very straight in this and this. But because of where this person is from, a lot of people are this way towards him and people like him. So he felt like, oh, it's another one, another one coming in. He was like, but I quickly realized when it comes to the work, you're just very direct because you want us to like get it done. There's no game, there's no play. And then when it's done, there's all the game in the play. And he's like, and I realized that. And I see, he's like, so he told me, I just want to say I'm sorry because I thought this way, but I quickly realized that wasn't it. It was this. And it's like, I had no idea, but I've always been very direct when it comes to the work. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm a fun guy and this and this. So that's why he felt he could approach me. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to the work, it's like, no, we need to get this done. And I'm not in a field where there's like room for error. You know what I mean? Like we're not stocking stuff in the back of car 4 here. You know what I mean? Like it's serious. So like we need to make sure things are done, whether you're training people or you're like whatever it is. So, and it needs to be done correctly. For sure. Very, very small margin for error. So anyway, shout out to who he is. He know who he is, and I know he watches the show. But yeah, man, when that happened, it was very humbling for me, and it just reminded me of what you talking about with the guy from your cigar lounge. And it's just like when we speak to people, like we don't realize oftentimes we don't realize like how what we say affects them, or they may perceive it. Because we all have different backgrounds and different experiences.
I know.
So this communication thing, this constant evolution, this constant growth, that's why I don't think it's an issue for anybody, because nobody is above asking for help. You know what I mean? And that's what we have to do. We have to ask for help. We have to ask for understanding. We have to ask for clarity. We have to get off our high horse. We have to chop down the level of the ego, break down the stalks of the pride, and ask for help. And if anybody is looking at you funny because you ask for help, then it seems like they're probably the one that needs it themselves.
It's what you just said. Like, I needed this last week because there's a friend of mine. We're on a break right now, and
Rachel and Ross, what are you doing?
Well, like she interpreted some of the things that I did. Was I guess disrespectful in her eyes, right? Mm-hmm. But in my mind, I didn't see that, and she had pulled away from me, and then we ended up talking this past week, and ultimately, she ended up blocking me, right? And what's so crazy, I still have everything, but I know she couldn't have gotten the rest of the messages, but the message that I'm looking at it, and while I'm looking at it, I'm talking to Kanika, and Kanika was like, why don't you just say, what can you do to fix it? And I was like, that sounds good. So the very next one, that's what I'm saying, to help. I wish I heard this last week, because I could have been like, I would have had a better idea, right? Yeah. So like now, like I had sent her messages everywhere, like from whatever I knew how to get her, I was like, hey, I need you to go back and look.
She sound like the female version of me. Because I'm done.
Hey, because you know what? At the end of the day, I told her, I was like, look, and I don't know how she's going to respond, but I didn't intend for the things to go the way that they looked. Like my heart really means the best, but sometimes my belief system that I grew up in kind of overshadows my intent, because I don't have that many options of how to present information. So if you would have told me this help thing last week,
My bad.
and I could recognize I'm in this situation, and you know what's so crazy? I was so petty, like, and I could see it, and I was just like, you know, I said I'm sorry, and good luck. Like
That sounds like an asshole.
dude,
Like, really,
because you know what?
I'm sorry and good luck. That's hard, but that's
and you know what?
Soft, but it's so hard. You know,
Because I felt like the way that she was presenting it made it seem like I was doing these things on purpose. And then after talking to my wife, she was like, you know,
you value the friendship.
that's the reason why I wanted her to know, how can I fix it? You know, because if I didn't value it, I wouldn't want her to know that.
I'm gonna tell you something that I've learned, and we'll cut this, but clear honesty is usually the best way to like get through whatever, even when it hurts. You know what I'm saying? And I think saying exactly that, saying I value our friendship, I messed up and I don't know how to fix it. Being that honest and that open and that vulnerable, sometimes if the person, like I said before, if the person actually cares for you, it's extremely hard to look at a person that you care for. Okay, maybe even in that moment, they're like, man, get the fuck out of here. Like, whatever, I'm not trying to mess with you no more. But if they truly care for you, if they truly love you, if they value you and or your friendship, if you're like, I don't want to lose you, help me. You know what I mean? Like, how I don't know how to make this better, but I'm willing to try as long as you help me. Yeah. Something along them lines. I'm spitballing.
That's what I'm saying. This is new stuff. This is new, like, because normally, like, as a kid growing up, even with Kanika, like, I remember when we used to argue,
right?
She would come to me, like, she'll figure it out because I'll just be stubborn. I was that lost because, and in my head, I'm like, I don't know how to say I'm sorry, and I don't know how she's gonna look. Like, all this stuff is going, and she would just get around to it. Like, look, we're not just gonna keep walking around this house.
But you can't say I'm sorry until you understand why you know what I mean? Like,
no, I figured out why I should be sorry, but I wouldn't. It's easy for me to say sorry now. I can say sorry really easy and understand why I said it. Before, I'm saying sorry that I made you feel this way, and hopefully this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, but see, that right there, sometimes that isn't translated to the other person, because when they hear I'm sorry, they're thinking you're apologizing for what you know what I'm saying? Like what you did, because the whole I'm sorry because I hurt you, but it's not the sorry of I'm sorry for what I did yet, right? They're like, yo, that's surface. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, whatever. So that's why the whole sorry thing, I kind of stay away from I'm sorry until there's like a complete understanding of what I did. And I'll be honest with you, almost on some, how can I fix it? And when I know the answer to both of those, then I'm sorry. And guess what? Because right behind the sorry is going to come the action to make it better. So what's an apology without a corrective action?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? It's just words. No matter which part you're talking about, whether you're saying I'm sorry that I hurt you or I'm sorry for this that I did. If there's no action of correction behind it, it's just words. Yeah. It doesn't mean anything. So me personally, I stay away from I'm sorry until I have a full understanding of what, and sometimes that means just sitting there shutting up and letting them just everything.
You know what? Then I can't really be sorry then.
But you can tell them that you're working towards it.
Well,
it's not an emptiness.
I really want to know, like, whenever she and I communicate again, it's gonna be. I'm not that bad where she's supposed to, like. I just know that I'm tolerable to a certain degree, but she doesn't know this person, right?
Right.
So whenever it comes, I would like for her to be completely honest and just let me know, because I was narrow and minded, right. And.
We all can be.
Yeah, but to be in this situation is like, you too old for this. And that's the reason why I say, like, if I keep working on the stuff that I'm working on, like, I feel like all of it is just eventually it'll come full circle.
In a way, I don't think that you're ever too old.
Apparently.
No. I'm gonna tell you why. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think you're ever too old, because if it's a scenario or a situation rather that you have been introduced to, and you've never had that before, who can say that you're too old? If I'm 42 and I never saw this happen before in my life, I might not be prepared for it. And the reaction that I have now that I'm put in that situation, you're just gonna look at me because I'm 40 years old and be like, "Oh, you should be sorry for that." Or
I'm looking at myself like that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about that. That's what I'm saying. But like, you can't. I said I'm sorry for that. I meant too old. But you can't just. I mean, you can. You can do whatever you want to do. People listen, but you can't really just look at somebody. You don't know what they've been through or what they haven't been through. So to say that somebody is too old for something, how? How can they be too old for it if they never experienced it? How does that work?
I like that.
But you get what I'm saying?
I do.
So no, you're not too old for anything. You could be. I don't know. I'm
a late bloomer.
Maybe that's not a. No, I guess you could be too old, but I stick by what I say. You can't be too old for anything because my experiences might not be the same as your experiences, and we have the same years behind us. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that. I don't know, bro. I don't say put that on you. I don't say don't be hard on yourself in that way. Oh, I'm too old for this. No, you're not.
No, it's more so me having the ability to hurt people's feelings at this age when I feel like none of that was my intention, right?
How many ways can you hurt somebody's feelings?
All the ways that I don't know of, apparently.
But you get what I'm saying, though? Like, just because the end result was somebody's feelings being hurt, we live in 2021. People's feelings get hurt because you don't sit next to them on the bus. I know,
these days. but not your friends.
But what I'm saying is there are a lot of different ways to hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
And just because you've hurt people's feelings before, let's just say to quantify it, let's just say there are a million ways to hurt somebody's feelings. And in your life, you've hurt people's feelings 27 times. The sea is wide open for you to possibly hurt somebody's feelings again. How can you possibly prevent or predict?
I know, but I don't want to. The situation that we're talking about is just me being
flippant.
The person that's just impulsive speaker, just says whatever, and thinks the way that he says things is the only way that it should be done. I'm not like that anymore, but I used to be very strong-headed when it comes to like, you could be doing this better if you did this.
I just feel like, excuse me, I just feel like the statement of I'm too old for this is like belittling to the person that is, if they're saying it about themselves, or even if you're saying it about someone else.
That.
You know what I mean?
I didn't intend on being this old to learn this. You know what I'm saying?
So I do agree that there are certain things that we can probably agree on as groups. You shouldn't be doing this particular thing at this particular age. But again, that's only based on your experiences. It depends on the census group, right? The experiences of the group and how they feel about something.
Correct.
So, but if you've never been in that situation, you're not too old for it. We're all here for improvement. And the moment we stop improving, then
we're dead.
Well, yeah. Well, not necessarily.
When you stop improving, your body's functions start shutting down.
I mean, you're not dead. When you stop improving, you stop growing.
That's what I'm saying. If you stop growing.
Oh, you mean in that way? Like that way. Oh, I thought you meant like.
No.
I was like, not really. No. I was like, what?
No, because if you're getting old, that means you're alive.
Yeah, true. True. Okay. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. So, but yeah, man. Good talk.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely appreciate the perspectives on how to like just move forward. I'm telling you, you can only do what you have on your tool belt.
Right.
Like you pull out a sword, it ain't gonna start shooting bullets. You know what I'm saying? And until somebody says, hey, you got to press this button and then, I'm like, I'm too old. Why didn't I know about this? It's been on my waist. But that's what I'm saying. Talking to you makes me feel like it's that much easier to figuring it out, whatever we're here to do.
If you're in a loving relationship, I mean, that alone should make it easier. Be careful with my words. Not easy, easier, because you both want it to grow. You both want it to last. You both want to be together. So you should be willing to do whatever it takes to make that excuse me, to make that stick.
For sure.
So that's what I would think. But, you know, like I don't know. Like, yeah, that's the way that I approach it. I think that if you're in a relationship and you get to a point where you want to stop trying, you willingly want to stop trying, then it's over. But as long as the sides are pushing and pulling and people are reacting and you're making improvements, you're still growing, you'll be all right. As you know, as long as both sides are this way. But never ever hold back on asking for help. I think that's key.
I won't do that anymore.
So, I mean, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking
No,
anybody.
well, I'm saying me because I do want to be better.
Right. We all do.
Yeah.
We all should. So,
Sure.
And we will be better. We'll be better as Mr. John D over here, Mr. Omega over here, and this is Diverse Clarity. This is where we have those thought-provoking conversations about things that matter and some that don't. I definitely think that this one does.
For sure.
Hit it.
Boom.